everybody, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be teaching you guys how to make crocheted chickens. For those of you who don't know, a chicken was actually the first thing I ever really learned how to crochet, at least my first amigurumi crochet. This is what it looked like. A little rough, but I've gotten so much better since then, and I've made so many, so I feel like it's finally time that I release my own pattern. This is an example of a chicken that I've already made, so this is what yours should come out looking like. I would consider this a beginner-friendly pattern. I will show you guys all the stitches that I use, and they're mostly pretty simple and something you should definitely learn if you're wanting to get more into crochet. To make one of these, the products you will need is a yarn color for your body. I use a Karen Cake yarn with a 5mm hook. I'm not exactly sure what weight yarn that would be, but that is the hook size that I use. Then you are going to need a color for your beak and the comb. So as you can see right here, I use just a burnt orange and a red. It doesn't really matter what size you want your yarn to be for this stuff. It just is up to your preference. The next thing you will need is a pair of scissors, a sewing needle, and some safety eyes. You do not have to use safety eyes, you can embroider them in, but safety eyes are my personal favorite since they make the chicken look a little derpy and cute. I'm gonna interrupt myself right here because I did forget to mention that you will need filling, fluff, whatever you wanna call it. I personally use a pillow and I just rip it open and use the fluff in there. It's actually this one that is sitting on my bed right now. Any flat pillow, rip it open, you can use the fluff in there. That's what I've done my entire crochet career. Or you can purchase some. Here's a picture of some that you can purchase. I don't think they're too expensive. They might be, but those are just a couple options for you guys. First thing you're gonna do is get your yarn. I prefer using a multicolored yarn for my chickens, but you can use whatever color you like. The first stitch we are going to be doing is a magic ring or magic circle. A lot of people are gonna tell you that this is a very hard stitch to learn, and though it is difficult the first time you do it, it is definitely necessary to learn. I would suggest getting this method down instead of doing the chain 3 method, which is just an easier way to do it, but it does not make the product come out as well, in my opinion. I'm going to be putting your strand like this on your hand. I'm going to keep my 2 fingers out, and these 3 fingers at the bottom are going to be holding my yarn at the whole time. I'm going to wrap the yarn around, creating an X, and I'm going to bring this strand down here and hold it still. I'm going to insert my hook in between these two. I'm gonna grab the bottom, pull through and twist, and then I'm gonna go over and get the other side again, twist, pull through. I'm gonna do it one more time quickly so you guys can see. Pull it around, underneath, pull through, underneath again, pull through. And that is how you get a magic circle. Now we are going to put 6 single crochets into our magic circle. And single crochet is underneath, pull through, go underneath, pull through, underneath, pull through, underneath, pull through. Now that we have 6, I'm going to pull the tail, and we are going to make it smaller. Now we're going to slip stitch into this stitch right here. So you're going to insert your hook, yarn over, pull through this loop, and pull through that loop. Make sure this is pretty tight because we don't want this coming undone. This will be the bottom of our chicken. Now we are going to do an increase stitch. An increase stitch is 2 single crochets in the same stitch. So I'm going to insert my hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, insert hook, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and then you see that there is 1 and 2. So we're gonna do that all the way around. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. This would be a good time to whip out your stitch marker. So how you're going to use these is when you finish a round, you will put it at the last stitch of your last row. And so when you are crocheting, you don't lose sight of where you need to slip stitch into the next row, so you don't just keep going and going and going forever. For round 3, we are going to chain 1. Then we're going to insert a single crochet. So insert, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, Then we're gonna do an increase. Insert, pull through again, insert, pull through again. And we're gonna repeat this. So we're gonna do 1 single crochet, 1 increase. 1 single crochet, 1 increase, until you have finished this row. Once you've come to the end of your row, you take out your stitch marker and we're going to slip stitch. Before, we are going to chain 1. We're going to now do 2 single crochets. So there is 1, there's 2, and then we're gonna increase. So 1, 2 in the same stitch. 1, 2, and then we're gonna increase. 1, 2, and we're gonna continue that for the rest of the row. So after every single row you complete, you're going to slip stitch, and that is how you will determine starting the new row. So now we are on row 5. We're gonna chain 1, then we're going to single crochet 3. 1, 2, 3. Then we're gonna increase. 1, 2. Then we're gonna crochet 3 again. 1, 2, 3, and then increase again. I'm gonna continue this to the end of the round. Now for rounds 6 through 9, you're gonna continue what we were doing, but you're going to add 1 single crochet on to every single round. So see how we started with 1 single crochet increase, then 2 single crochet increase, then 3 single crochet increase. You're going to continue to do that until you get to 7 single crochet and increase. This is what it should look like once you are finished with those rounds of increasing. It's going to start to be kind of turning up and rounding out, so it's going to be making the body. The next row we're going to be working on is going to be row 10, I believe, and you're going to chain 1, and then we're going to work on single crochets. Just single crochets all the way until the start, but we are going to be doing that for the next 8 rounds. So that should be row 10 through 18. Sorry, not 10 through 18, 10 through 17. Now that we have finished all 8 of those rounds, this is what your chicken should be looking like. We have the majority of the body done, and now we are going to bring in the edges a little bit so it makes the chicken look a little more rounded and plumpy. So we're gonna go ahead and chain 1. Then we are going to single crochet 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to decrease. For a decrease, we are going to insert our hook, yarn over, pull through, but we're not going to pull through again like we would with a regular single crochet. Instead, we're going to go into the next stitch, go under, yarn over, pull through. Then you're going to yarn over again and pull through all 3 loops. Go ahead and chain 5 more, and then I will quickly do another decrease to make sure you guys get the point. All right, so insert stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then insert in the other stitch, yarn over, pull through, and then we're gonna yarn over one more time and pull through all these loops. We're gonna continue to the end of the round. Now you can see the way it's kind of rounded out a little more. This is going to make this little part on our chicken down here to sort of make room for our little pear-shaped guy in the front. For our next round, we are going to go ahead and single crochet all the way around. You are going to continue to single crochet for the next 5 rounds in a row. Sorry about the change of scenery and or lighting. Now that we have our 5 single crochet rounds done, we can start to close off the body. To start closing off the body, we're going to go ahead and use a slip stitch. Now I'm just going to pinch the body together. Just hold it kind of like this, and we're going to slip stitch, but I'm slip stitching into the back loop only. So we're going to insert our hook, back loop only, and back loop only. We're going to yarn over, pull through, and instead of yarn over again, we're just going to pull through all the way. So I'm going to do that one more time to show you guys. Back loop only, yarn over, pull through, and pull through. That's what you're gonna do until you get a little over halfway done. I usually never count this part because it really just depends on how thick you want your neck to be. But I would consider stopping around midway, then we're gonna stuff, and then we will continue. Now that we've hit about the halfway mark, maybe a little less, we are going to add our stuffing. I know this looks like a lot, but I bet you I'm gonna end up needing more. We're just gonna take it and we're just gonna shove it right in through this hole. Said all of that stuffing did fit in here, and I might honestly need more later, but for now I'm just going to leave it like this. Now I'm gonna slip stitch a couple more times because I don't want the neck to be too thick, but this is really up to you on how thick you do want the chicken's neck. I like to make them different a little bit each time so they look a little different and kind of unique, so they're not all the same. But once you get the length you like, so this is what I got, you're gonna stop and we're gonna start crocheting now just around this circle. So I'm going to chain one and I'm going to start single crocheting all the way around the neck, and then I'm going to slip stitch into this stitch again right here. This is what that looks like, and then we're going to chain one and do the exact same thing one more time, a single crochet all the way around. Now it is time to whip out the eyeballs. I actually ran out of the size that I usually use. As you can see on this one, they're a little smaller, and the second smallest I have are these, which are slightly bigger, and the new eyeballs don't come until Wednesday, but I don't really care to wait that long, so we're just gonna use these bad boys, and plus it gives them a little more of a different look or personality as well. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in between the two stitches we just did. So this is also up to your preference where you really place them. I always place them in before I secure them so I can see if I like the way that they're sitting. I think that's good. Yeah, I like the way this looks. So now I'm just gonna go in and put the backs on them. All right, they are secured and now they will not shake loose. Finally, it has come to the end of our chicken body, so we are going to start closing it off. We are going to chain one as usual. We are going to single crochet two. 1, 2. I don't know why my yarn's making this much noise. Sorry, guys. And then we're gonna decrease again. So insert hook, yarn over, then go into the next stitch, yarn over, and then yarn over one more time, pull through all of them. Then 2 more single crochets. Decrease, yarn over into the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. Next round is going to fully close off the head, so I suggest getting a little more stuffing and put it in so it does not make our face fully floppy and with nothing in it. Now we're going to chain one again, and we are going to fully decrease in all of the stitches all the way around. This is what the top should look like, and now you're going to cut your yarn, leaving somewhat of a long tail. You're going to chain one after you finish, and then you're going to pull through and tighten. We're going to get our needles out. It doesn't really matter what size you use as long as your hook or as long as your yarn fits through. I would recommend buying a lot of these if you are getting into crochet and want to be crocheting more, because you can never have enough of these and they're super cheap. So now we're just going to weave in and out. Kind of just in. It's kind of hard to explain this part. I'm hoping you'll understand by watching. Then we're gonna pull tight. And now you see its head's kind of closed off. Then I'm going to insert it into its head, the needle all the way, and I'm gonna have it poke out the other end so it kind of keeps the yarn from undoing itself, and then we're gonna cut it close to the yarn. And now we finished the body. Let's work on the beak and the comb. We're going to start on our comb. So the first thing you're gonna do is make a slip stitch. What I do for a slip stitch is I make a little circle with the yarn. We're gonna wanna leave a longer tail, so do a little bit of like a big tailed circle. And then I just bring the yarn around and pull it through, and it creates a slip knot. Hopefully that makes sense. Now I'm going to be chaining 3. 1, 2, 3. The first thing I'm gonna do is double crochet. So I'm gonna yarn over, go underneath, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, and then pull over again. Then I'm gonna half double crochet. So I'm gonna yarn over, put it through, yarn over, pull through, and then I'm gonna pull through all 3 loops, and then I'm just gonna single crochet. I'm gonna pull the tail a little bit too. So now this is what it looks like. Just chain 1. We're gonna cut and then pull through. This is what our comb looks like. Now we're gonna bring back our needle. I just placed the comb on the head where I think it would fit best. And then I just go in and out and in and out underneath both of these until it is sewed on nice and tight. And look at that, we're almost done and he almost looks fully like a chicken. Now I'm just going to go in with some orange yarn. I like to insert my hook or my needle a little lower, and then I try to find a place to poke through about a single crochet stitch length from the eyeballs. And I want to make sure I catch the yarn before it fully goes through. And then, like I said, a single crochet's worth apart, and then I go back and forth. So now I'm just going to continue to go back and forth between these two until I like the length of the beak. I do want it to be, or the thickness rather, I do want it to be pretty thick. So I'll probably do this about 5 times. As I'm on my last time, I'm going to push it through the same hole that I began in. Oh, and I got it wrapped around its head somehow. Please hold. Gonna pull it all the way through. And then we're gonna cut it. And this is how our chicken turned out. He is so cute. I actually love the bigger eyeballs on him because it makes him look a little derpy and adorable. That's what I love about these, is you can make them a few different ways to make them look a little different. That's all I have for you guys today. I hope you really enjoyed this video and tutorial. Let me know if you guys have any suggestions, if I wasn't clear enough, and I will make sure to fix that in the next video. If you end up making one of these and post it, please tag me. I would love to see your guys' tiny chickens. I am so happy with the way these turned out, and I'm so excited to finally release my own pattern. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you in the next one. Until then, keep creating. Bye!